Welcome back to the Ranking of Naruto Games, the show where we play and rank every Naruto game to completion. And today we have the game you've been waiting for, Ultimate Ninja Impact. You've been asking me to rank this game for so long that the time has finally come. But first, we gotta finish what's been the longest running series of Naruto games. We have to play the last Ninja Council. Ninja Council games have been very painful throughout this journey, most of them ranking at the bottom. But the last entry changed the formula quite a bit. Shinobi Rumble is, in my opinion, the most underrated game in Naruto history. I had a really good time with that one. So, did they keep their momentum going with this last entry? No. They went back to the side-scroller formula. This is Naruto Shippuden 3D, a new era. Why is it called 3D? Because it came out on the 3DS. Remember when every 3DS game had 3D in the title? Graphics have been updated. They even went through the trouble of updating some of the classic Ninja Council enemies, the wolves and the spiders. It's been 8 games. Naruto is still fighting wolves and spiders. Why? And is the game actually 3D though? Well, it tilts a little bit. Look, it's not just a side scroller. It's tilted. This game plays really bad. Combat is worse than ever before. Enemies don't get staggered as often, which means you gotta guess when they're gonna attack. And you don't have a block button, so you constantly have to attack and do a backflip, which isn't always possible while platforming. Naruto is the only playable character this time, a massive step back for the series, which always had multiple playable characters. And when you start the game, Naruto's combo is just 2 attacks. That's it. 1-2. You can throw a Rasengan if you want, but his combo is 2 attacks. What the hell? And doing special moves like the Rasengan can actually be dangerous, as some enemies, particularly bosses, will just tank your special or ultimate, and they'll take the damage, but they'll also attack through it, and usually deal more damage to you than you deal to them, which just promotes this playstyle of hit and run. The story starts with Naruto training in Mount Myoboku, learning Sage Mode, when he receives a message from Kakashi saying that it's urgent that he returns to the village. Alright, we're kicking things off with Pain. Nice. Good point to start the game. Nope, it's an original story, where someone's making puppets out of all the Kage and making every village go to war with each other. And of course, no one can tell that the Kage are puppets now until Naruto gets there, because he is the wisest ninja that ever lived. The game actually has some pretty cool cutscenes and some attempts at humor while telling the story, and there are also quick time events using the gyroscope. Ultimates look awesome too. In terms of cinematics, this game was way better than I expected, but playing it just sucks. There's no reason to fight any of the enemies in any level, so just feel free to skip them. What matters the most is collecting scrolls and medals. That is how you upgrade your character, so Naruto can actually do more than 2 attacks in a combo. These upgrades between levels actually feel very meaningful, so character progression is nice, but that's only the case because you start with nothing. This is the video game equivalent of this DLC should have been in the base game, because yeah, Naruto should have been able to string more than 2 attacks together in a combo from the very start. You also have a Sage Mode transformation that lasts very little time, but that gives you increased damage and some new specials. That said, you still take a ton of damage if a boss decides to power through it. So at the end of the day, the transformation doesn't really do much for you. The story develops, you find out who's behind it, and it's a female ninja called Malice. A bit on the nose there. Why is she doing this? For revenge. Revenge on who? All the ninja in the world. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. You keep fighting through different levels, all of them with a Kage boss fight at the end, and to their credit, they did make every boss unique, with a bunch of moves for you to learn and dodge. You gotta applaud the effort, even if they didn't make any of those fights fun. A lot of them were cheap as hell, but hey, they tried. You can also pick up to 3 assists when you start a level. Assists come in and attack your opponents on a cooldown, but they also can help you clear some environmental obstacles. You actually have to bring the right assist to a mission if you want to collect all of those medals, which is what you use to upgrade the number of hits in a combo, for instance. Which means this game has the exact same problem that past Ninja Council games had, which is you never know which barriers you're gonna run into when you start a new level. So you have no idea who you should take, which forces you to replay the level as if getting through it once wasn't painful enough. Oh, and Malice, turns out she was mad at the world because her kid died in the war. That's it, that's the story. She revives the kid, he turns into a giant puppet. Where have I seen this before? And she begs you for help. The end. What a major step back this was. It's like they went back to the formula that made a ton of bad games in the past, revamped the graphics, cut off a bunch of features, and shipped it. This was the last game published by Takara Tomy. What a bad note to leave on. Yeah, this is a bad game. Still not as bad as Ninja Council 2 or 3, so we're gonna place it at the top of F tier. Welcome to the bottom, buddy. Gotta shake that off and move on to bigger and better things. It's time to check out the game you guys have been asking for. Welcome to Ultimate Ninja Impact. You know what? You guys tend to overhype games sometimes, but this time, mwah. Finally, Ultimate Ninja Impact takes the Ultimate Ninja formula and makes it a simplified Warriors type game with a lot of mechanics taken from Storm. In fact, this game came out only a year after Storm 2, which becomes evident when you listen to the soundtrack, because most of it is indeed the Storm 2 soundtrack. So the basic structure is that you take one of the playable characters and fight through hundreds of enemies to get to your objective. Sometimes your objective is fighting another character, sometimes you have to escort or protect someone, but it's a concept that's fairly easy to understand, as we've seen it many times before. There's a whole genre around this concept. It's called Muso. But what sets this game apart for me personally is the combo system. If you mash the attack button, you get a combo, and at any point during your combo, you can hit triangle, the chakra button, to unleash a jutsu. And the jutsu is different depending on when you press that button. Some jutsu are for dealing high damage, others are for hitting a wide area. You've also got launchers and ground bounces. It allows for so much creativity when fighting other characters. These jutsu are all different depending on the character you pick, and so are the basic combos. Sakura punches really slow but punches very hard. Sasuke has wider range to his attacks because of his sword, and he basically gets a re-jump combo for free if you just mash. Sasuke is easy mode. In addition to that, every character has an awakening, which some awakenings are very unique, like transformations that change your entire moveset, and they all have ultimate attacks too. And even though this was a game on the PSP, CyberConnect 2 still delivered the hype in these cutscenes. Well, technically this game was also developed by Rakjin, so I don't really know who made the ultimates, but they look very CyberConnect. Now, that's how this game is played no matter the game mode, and the combat is one of the big reasons why I like it. But this game is not without its problems. Let's talk about story mode. Story mode covers a lot, from the start of Shippuden until the end of the 5 Kage Summit, when Naruto and Sasuke fight. And you actually end the game by playing that final mission from each character's perspective, with a unique cutscene after the credits for each one of them. Credits that you cannot skip, so you gotta watch them twice. Unskippable credits in a game built to be finished twice. Come on, guys. You move through story mode by moving through this board, similar to the Ultimate Ninja Hero series. Sometimes you have a simple conversation cutscene, which calling it a cutscene is a stretch, it's a visual novel again. Or sometimes you'll play through a level, which will have different objectives, like the ones I mentioned before. These boards are a lot more dynamic, a lot more handcrafted, with secrets and unlockables to discover. And as you play story mode, you'll unlock characters, and they are the key to removing some of these obstacles, which will lead you to finding some money, which you can then spend on cards. There's a whole card system. Each character can equip 4 different cards, and most of them usually work as buffs. Very minor buffs like more chakra, bigger ninjutsu damage, attack, defense, but some of them not only have better buffs, they can even change your jutsu or your ultimate or your awakening. So these cards can also be used for character customization, and I think it's a pretty awesome system. That said, I was not expecting to buy cards from the shop, spending in-game currency to get random cards, and from the very start, I got duplicates. And it's so annoying if you're trying to unlock everything. Why do you get duplicates? Naruto loot boxes. This is where they were born, folks. Very first card pack that I bought, supposed to have 5 cards in it. 3 of them were duplicates. What the hell? That said, this was the first Naruto game on the PSP that has received the proper story mode treatment. The treatment that we look for in CyberConnect 2 games. You have a few cutscenes with quick time events, some cool boss fights with unique mechanics. All of it is voice acted in Japanese and in English. It's awesome. The full story takes about 12 hours to finish, even more if you want to fully explore these boards, but just beating the story is enough to unlock every character. A total of 27 characters are available, each one of them with a unique moveset, except the 3 Sasukes. They all play very similar. This game has 3 Sasukes and only 2 Narutos. I've never seen that before. Story takes you to very different backgrounds. They are visually distinct, though I would say maybe because this was the PSP, the draw distance is a bit short. Enemies aren't visible until you're really close to them, and that's a bit annoying. And so far so good. I said I was going to talk about downsides and I haven't done it yet. The time has come. Here we go. The story mode, even though it is only 12 hours long and it covers so many arcs, it does have a lot of padding. Some of these missions could definitely be skipped, and they pad them out so hard that it gets really repetitive and annoying. For instance, Naruto has to train his chakra nature, so Kakashi is like, yo Naruto, make some clones, defeat 100 of them. Okay, that's a drag, but we power through. After After all, that's what his training was like. He made some shadow clones and fought against them. Finally beat all of them, and Kakashi goes, okay, now do 200. What the why? There are plenty of grindy missions, and they're usually okay if the game makes you play with a new character, because playing a new character means discovering their moveset, discovering new combos, exploring the character to its fullest. But when it's a grindy mission with a character that we've already played a few missions with, it's just boring. It's like Ultimate Ninja Impact is a good game until it remembers that it's a Muso. And it's for this reason that the other game modes simply don't shine as much as story mode. You have some extra missions with a similar format. It's either defeating bosses, defeating enemies, or keeping a combo going. The good thing here is that you can select which character you want to play as, so you can even select some characters that are not available in story mode, such as the entire Akatsuki. But the missions themselves are nothing to write home about. You also have tag missions, which are the ones that you can play in co-op if you had another friend with a PSP and a copy of the game. And that does sound fun, but in 2021, I can't really test that feature anymore. I had a ton of fun playing Impact. This is a series that was definitely worth exploring, but unfortunately, this would be the last game to come out on PSP, and the company never moved on to explore the Vita, so this was the first and last Impact game, unfortunately. It definitely had potential to be a lot more, but it's still one of the best Naruto games that I've played in this series. Looking at the current ranking, definitely think this is a B rank game, only held back by the PSP limitations and its Muso nature. But given how cool the combat is, I'm gonna rank this above Ultimate Ninja 3. I think the free roaming of Ultimate Ninja 4 is really strong, so that is gonna keep it above. But hey, we got another good Naruto game added to the list, so I really cannot complain. And that's another ranking episode in the books. We only have 3 Naruto games remaining. That means 2 more episodes and we're done. We're out of here. And a lot of you guys have been asking, what am I gonna do next? Am I gonna rank the Dragon Ball games next? And my answer is, as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku and I'll see you next time. Bye.